我哋就到啦。哇，犀利喎！
Hi, well, it's been 6 months, I can't believe it, since we gave you our last update on Cheuk Cheuk's progress. So today I want to give you a little window on some of the things he's now able to do, and we'll take a look at some of the skills he's acquired. It's been a really challenging 6 months because with the COVID, and you know, many of our kids have moved out of the office and have been at home. Cheuk Cheuk's back in the office now, but he was at home for many months, working with our staff ongoingly, which was great. We didn't have to stop the therapy, but he's made some great progress and I'd like to share that with you today. One of the things you'll notice throughout all of the clips today that I'd like you to pay attention to is just the quality of his articulation. As you know, it's been quite hard for Cheuk Cheuk over the last year and a half to pronounce the words clearly, say the sounds nicely, and be really intelligible when he's been speaking. You'll notice quite a big difference, I think, in all the videos coming up, that his quality of speech has really quite improved. It's much easier to hear what he says, for people to understand what he wants. He can speak in longer sentences without such deterioration of quality, which has been really, really amazing to see. One change we've been making to the therapy is that we were somewhat concerned about his general knowledge. You know, that means all the vocabularies, general concepts in the community, which is very common for children to autism to not understand as many things as typically developing children. So every week he has a different theme and learns different vocabularies, different concepts about those things. And we embed a lot of our instruction and other kinds of IEP or ABA objectives into that sort of framework. So you'll see in this video, he's doing a little activity about the bakery. And this is a very simple activity that works a little bit on his attention and also on his knowledge of the things they've been teaching him. In our sessions, we're now commonly making mistakes that we want him to notice through paying really good attention and also correcting what we do.
Mom, my apple係 E。
係喎 ，sorry 啊 ，OK。OK。Y，好啦。
You'll also notice that in this activity, he's very persistent when he has to guess the items or come up with the things that Oscar wants. He's really motivated and very persistent through this task, which is, really good effort, which is really nice to see. And his quality of engagement with the therapist is really wonderful, despite there being really no reinforcement, tokens, or those kinds of things that we're working with him on.
哇，正啊！
陳大包好鹹。
係㗎，陳大包係鹹啦，同埋咧佢好好味㗎都。
We've also been working on his ability to ask more questions, and he persists to try to ask Oscar, what is that? Which is really, really nice to see him initiating those kinds of interactions.
都唔係lollipop。
乜嘢㗎？
哇，問得好喎！呢個係蛋卷。
蛋卷。
係啊，麵包店做蛋卷㗎喎。誒，執翻低啲先。係啦。 You'll
also see he's gained some kind of more sophisticated knowledge, so that when they ask him about the bread and what's it for, he's able to identify things that you use and trays and how you do things in places in the community. So this shows that he's really got a better awareness now and using concepts that are kind of a bit more higher level than before, that he would understand 6 months ago.
用乜嘢買麵包啊？
用夾。
係喎，你用夾喎，夾出嚟先。 有腳糊，
唔用手。
係咯，點解唔用手嘅？
好污糟喎！
哎呀，我哋手污糟咧，我哋唔用手嘅，除咗用夾，仲要用咩？係喎，不如你試下畫個盤俾我睇下。
One last thing I want you to notice in this video is that you'll see 3/4 of the way through, he turns and looks somewhere kind of towards the camera. And I noticed when we were doing the filming today, that he very frequently would look at the people in the room and smile, check in with them when he did something kind of funny or he made a comment. This is quite a different scenario from the 6 months prior, where he would be more, oblivious or may not look at people so much, or maybe just more engaged with the person in front of him. Much, much more socially aware in the films that you can see today. We've been working on some of his structural language things. In this short clip, you can see him. We've read him a story out of a book, and we want him to try to recall the steps of the story by using sentences, and we can draw out the story to help him with his recall and his ability to sort of describe prior events.
阿妹咧，
好痛啊！
係啊，佢好肚餓。咁之後點算啊？
爸爸瞓覺。
哎呀，爸爸瞓緊覺喎。咁之後咧？
會唔會去痛啊？
係咯。
有啲啲。
哦，不如講多次俾你聽啦。去邊度攞芝士啊？
攞嗰個櫃。
係啊，喺個雪櫃度。
We've been working on his imaginary play, and you can see this short clip, and it's around again the bakery. But you'll notice what's great about this is he's able to solve some problems. You can see that Oscar shows him the oven, and the things are too hot, and he can problem solve and think, oh, to pick them up, we should go and use the tongs, which is really nice. And little kids do this all the time in terms of, you know, resolving little problems and acting out the little storylines and responding to other people's things that they do in play.
叮！
有人。
做咩？好，打開先。
好熱㗎。
哇，係喎！哇，快啲幫手撥落去先，好熱啊！喂，
廿斤。
係啊，好熱啊！點算啊？
要跟啲人啊！
但係攞唔到喎。
唔使。
我哋幫我攞不如，而家好熱啊，好熱啊！
係。
咦，我未有喎。
呢度。
俾你㗎。
呢度。
嘅唔該。哇，係喎，一鏡我先。
This is another sort of imaginary play-ish video. Again, you can see in this one he's got lots of different ideas that is not told to him what to do. He can kind of generate his own ideas of what to do with the toys, which are really appropriate. He can also do a bit of directing, and you notice he also comments to Oscar about what it is he's doing, and is quite interactive, which is really nice to see.
操場。
不如去操場玩啦。
不如去操場玩。
好啊，我去操場玩先。
跳飛機啊！
好啊，跳飛機啊！
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。
OK， 喂，仲有咩玩啊？
有特高。
去踱高啊！
I think maybe a few weeks ago they were doing something around the Dragon Boat Festival, and you can see Oscar is interacting with him to sort of demonstrate one person is the drummer and the other is the kind of the rower. You'll notice that when they play this activity together, Cheuk Cheuk can watches carefully and can see when Oscar goes quick or slow, and even though he's not instructed to sort of follow the pace, he kind of picks that up and sort of learns that by himself, which is really good.
翻轉啦，Cheuk Cheuk你做
阿姑。
Oscar 哥哥。
睇唔到。
OK， 嚟咯喎，我哋打鼓度準備咯。
The other thing that's nice about that is that they're able to reverse the roles, and by watching what Oscar did previously, he's able to now become what Oscar did and respond to, you know, that situation by reversing the roles, which is really, really good and shows great flexibility in terms of his thinking and learning. One other video I like to share with you is Cheuk Cheuk doing a game. And you know, the setting is a little different because we're in the playground, quite distracting. And he's playing a directing game with Oscar. And you know, he has to point at the different things, to watch what Oscar does. I think his engagement is really nice in this video, and you see a really nice to and fro. His attention is really good. He's enjoying the process of playing this game with Oscar and initiating and thinking about what he's going to get Oscar to do. So again, I think this is a nice clip to show how he's a bit more socially connected at this point and enjoying those kind of activities with other people. So we're very happy with the last 6 months progress. We think he's been doing super well. Obviously lots more to do, and we will keep working every day, and so will he, hopefully. So we'll be back and keep you in tune with more of the events of what we're doing in his session.